Greetings. Today's talk focuses on the Model 3 and the brand new screen and what I call the heroin crack mystery. Bonjour, wie geht's? Здравствуйте. Wie geht's? Verstehst noch immer auf zwei Beinen? Ni hao ma. Guten Tag. This is Greg for Tesla Fan Insight. I wanted to do a brief talk today focused on what I call the heroin meth mystery of the new screen from the Model 3 Tesla. What's interesting about this situation is that if you look at the screen, it has a number of features that make it phenomenal. The first thing is that unlike the Model X and S, it's on it's on landscape, which is left to right, versus portrait, which is up and down. So this makes it easier for both passenger and driver to use the same screen when it comes to features of the vehicle. Another feature of it is from what I can see, it's larger than the previous screens. It's better positioned. It's wider. It also has newer features because we're talking newer technology at this point. So when you rack up all of these potential benefits, I think it on the surface looks like a winner. Since the car was introduced last year, I've had a mystery in mind as a question, which was Tesla is based in a place called Palo Alto, California. Elon Musk lives in a place called Bel Air, California. Anytime vehicles are being tested or evaluated, those vehicles are moving around and operating in a space where you have some of the most expensive zip codes anywhere in the United States and possibly in the world. So what this means is that you have a perfect environment for driving a nice vehicle around. And because there are a lot of other cars for people to break into and a lot of wealthy people there and not many poor people or people on drugs, you don't run into problems with people trying to break into your car and steal anything in there. So in the case of the Model 3, you'll notice that I think there may be a fatal flaw to the current iteration of the Model 3, and it's the screen. And the reason I think it might be a fatal flaw is that if you look at the screen, it's only anchored on one side, which is the base of the screen. The side and top of the screen are not anchored into the vehicle, as is the case with the Model X and the Model S. If you have a car in Palo Alto or Bel Air, this ain't a problem. The issue that pops up is that I think there are going to be hundreds of cases, particularly in the first year, where the window is going to get broken on that car and the screen is going to get stolen. And I believe this is an anticipatory nightmare because once that screen is gone, all the controls for the vehicle go with it. So now you have a car, clearly it can be flatbedded someplace, but you'll be waiting for quite a long time before you can get another screen, given how tight their supply chain is. Now, I think the best test for this car is not to have it driving around the most expensive zip codes in the world. I think the best test for the current Model 3 is to drive it to a seedy part of the Bay Area like parts of Oakland or San Jose, where a lot of homeless people live, and see what they do to the car. Because what I think is possible is if that screen is ripped out of the car, it's large, it's a beautiful screen, and it's large enough that it could work as somebody's primary screen when they're watching TV. So there are a lot of people who need a fix, who'll be willing to break into the window, steal the screen, and sell it for a few dollars, while the value is infinitely greater to those who actually purchase the car and need their screen to operate effectively. So this also brings up a question, which is, if the screen is stolen, from my recollection, there's no backup plan for how you could start up and move your car if that screen is gone. And I think that this might be something that the technical team at Tesla may have to evaluate. The screen as is will work great in 80 to 90% of the destinations it'll go into in the world, because most people are putting it in their car at night, and then they're going to work and putting it into there. So all those circumstances means that in general, the setup of the vehicle is perfect. The problem, though, is that when you park that car in a tough neighborhood or in the wrong place, do you end up with a number of owners trying to figure out how they're going to get their car working again now that that beautiful screen has been stolen and sold for a few cents. Now, I just want to say it as an idle threat. I'm not kidding, because I actually lived in a place called Oakland, California. I had a convertible BMW. I had on my driveway, I parked my car, and I had someone come by, use a knife to cut a hole in the roof, and then that person stole $2 worth of change. And now I ended up with a $2,000 replacement for my roof in the process. So it's not only about, the fact that they could sell it. There's also a phenomenon where there are certain people that are rather vindictive. And so being mindful of this should be interesting to see how Tesla handles this potential problem. Thanks for the time. Merci beaucoup. Please like and subscribe. Tschüss, macht's gut. Au revoir, lahitraot, Choda Hafez, and have a great day.